And once again, a massive thank you to all of our community, all of the people who financially support the show and help it go on each and every week. All of our 87A survivors, they're all there on the screen. King of Lobar, Petty Weddy, Sauerkraut, Receding Man, and some new members, Levs, Nukes, Rays, Salty Sticks. Thank you so much. But a massive shout out to our two podcast bosses, Kenny Baker and Cinnamon. All of you are legends who help the shows go on each and every week. Thank you all for your support, just even by listening or watching the show. And we hope you enjoy this week's show. And welcome, everybody, after a minor, only a very minor technical glitch, to episode 142 of the DayZ Podcast. We are joined once again by Cobra and Red Falcon. Cobra, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, very good, mate. You good?
Good, yeah, mate. You've been quite busy lately. We'll probably talk a bit more about what you've been up to a little bit later in the show, but you've been absolutely flat out, mate, testing stuff and working on stuff and growing your channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Red, what have you been up to, buddy?
Busy. Lots of mod work.
How's the missus?
Oh, she's doing much better.
Awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah, just for those that didn't hear, it was a couple weeks ago. My wife ended up in ER with pneumonia. But it's amazing how quickly your body will recover when you get that good drip antibiotics.
Yeah.
So she's doing much better now.
Yep. But the special person of the night is, and definitely improving the looks rating in this Discord channel right now. Three crusty old bastards, and oh god, we just got demonetized. We just got demonetized for that. Maddgree, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
It is so good to have you on. I love the sign in the background there. Welcome, shitbag.
Yeah, it's flipped right now, but I call my community shitbags. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Why shitbags? How did that come about?
I'm a crude bitch.
Good.
I don't have a filter.
Good.
So
you're fitting in very well already.
Yeah, right. I welcome the banter, so I lovingly call them shitbags and turds. In fact, my emotes, I have a shitbag is one of my emotes, and
how did you get that past Twitch?
I don't know. I made it myself and everything. It's a piece of poop on a bag. I call it poop bag though.
We've got to see this. We've got to have a look at this at some point.
Yeah, and then also recently, over the last 2 weeks, I've added a piece of poop that twerks.
There it is.
So I mean, I'm just saying.
I just saw it in the Twitch chat. Cat Girl posted it. And you've got someone slapping a shit bag?
Yeah, that's a high one. That's like, hello. Or you could be slapping the shit bag if you want to.
Yep.
I don't judge.
Do you have a burning shit bag?
Not yet.
Need to get that one. The good old burning poop on the doorstep. It's like an American tradition, isn't it?
It is.
I feel like in the 60s, maybe. Not anymore.
You just exposed Red Falcons, eh? He does not look happy.
Well, I would say I think it's still alive and well.
Are you doing that to people?
I'm not, but I see the new generations thinking that they discovered it.
Have a look at him. Oh. If he was to put burning shit on someone's doorstep, ring the doorbell and run away, he'd do his hip halfway down the bloody front stairs.
It could be. I'd lose my breath by the time I got to the street.
I'd lose my breath chasing my dog around the house, mate. Oh, my God. He had his first birthday yesterday. I tweeted out asking for help getting a name for him. He's a golden retriever. And we came up with Maximus because it's a very regal, sort of Roman-sounding name. He is not a Maximus. He is a Maxwell Smart. He is a very naughty little boy. But we love him to death. Huge dog fan. But, Maddgree, let's find out more about you. How long have you been streaming for, buddy?
Just hit 2 years this month of streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of got into it. The pandemic didn't start streaming for me. I guess maybe it did. I started watching in 2020. Like I started watching Lax. I'd never been on Twitch before. And I had watched it a long time ago, like 2014. And I used to watch Echoix.
Yep.
One of the OG DayZ streamers, players. So whenever the pandemic hit, I started watching again because I didn't want to work. I work from home, so I just wanted to watch shit, and I did. And then a year goes by, I'm like, you know what? I can fucking try this streaming shit. So, yeah, I kind of just tried it. My husband's been like a full blown supportive person. He's also always trying to get me to like sell feet pics and stuff. He really wants to be rich, so I don't know.
We're getting a bit of a running theme on this show now about people
Yeah.
with feet obsessions, aren't we?
Feet. Oh God.
Do I need to do it again, Cobra?
No, don't you dare. Fuck me.
We
No, keep
I
those
think it was
nasty things
B-Wad. His community have got a thing with
Of course.
feet. One of
Yeah.
his community actually sent him like feet cut out in metal.
Mm.
Yeah.
You scared me there with his community sent him.
Yeah.
Dot.
Yeah, well, you don't know, but yeah. So we've got your bio here. Hello, my name is Maddie, but I go by Annie in game. I've been playing DayZ since 2015, on and off, a little over 3,000 hours. Still suck. Started streaming 2 years ago this month. I'm a foul mouth, loud, awful laugh, crazy bitch, but also pretty chill. I've worked on a few servers like the old LAC servers. Geez, wasn't that an interesting time, those old LAC servers?
Oh, yeah.
And the Odyssey servers. Was part of the first winning team of Queens of the Castle and the Spy in the War of the
Fuck
Women. That were both hosted by Ariana. Besides gaming and streaming, I'm a wife, data analyst, and massive introvert. You do not strike me as an introvert.
Yeah, that's because I got a screen and like nobody can hear me fart
Yep.
into my chair. If I'm out in public, like I just don't want to be out in public with people, random people, you know? I can sometimes choose to be with who I want to be with on the internet for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like my channel is, if I want to stream, I stream. If I don't want to stream, I don't stream. If I don't like you in my chat, you're gone. Like, you know, so I get to be a little bit more picky.
It's your house.
Yeah, pretty much. I always say, there's a saying in my channel, if you're not paying my bills or eating my pussy, you really don't get a say. So
Well, there you go.
Oh, I love it.
It's good to have boundaries.
Love it. But that's such a kind of a true statement. You don't mean shit to me. Yeah. Yep. That's good. That's quite funny, mate. So you started playing DayZ back in 2015.
yes. I originally was a H1Z1 player,
Yep.
base builder, raider, and all that other fun stuff. And then they did that stupid shit where they split it off into 2 separate games, which killed the game.
Yep.
So I was
killed one
bitching and
side of the
roaring.
game, made the other game go
Yeah.
massive for a
I hate
short
that
time.
one. Yeah. But I was bitching and moaning about wanting to have a survival game, and I couldn't find anything. And then my husband knew about Arma, knew about the DayZ mod, and he told me about it. And I remember the first time I ever played this thing. I spawn, it's obviously Chernarus. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like confused. Everything's in Russian. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like just being such a little bitch about it. And like, I'm like, I'm never playing this game again. He's like, you can download the map. I'm like, I have to download a map? I'm like, all this crazy stuff. And yeah, I guess I just kept trying it because I got tired of Sims or something. And I finally just
It hooks you in.
Yeah.
The tendrils
Yep.
in DayZ, they're kind of sneaky, and you hear that from so many people. They get it, they don't know what the fuck going on, they uninstall it, and then a video will pop up in their feed, or someone will
Right.
make a passing comment, and they're like, "I'll give that fucking game a go again," and then you end up
Yeah.
just sinking further and further down the rabbit hole that is DayZ.
Yeah, pretty much. I will say though, when I was coming back to playing it, again with the whole introvert thing, like my first set of group of friends that I ever made on DayZ was this group of Aussies that would just call me a cunt every 5 seconds, lovingly or not. And I
Yep.
was like, these are my people. Okay, this is helping. And they'd be like, we don't give a shit if you have tits. You suck at the game, all this stuff. Like they didn't treat me differently just because I was a chick,
Yep.
essentially, right? And that's what really drew me into it more because
You do hang around
you-
Aussies a lot, don't you? A chick. Yep.
a lot of people actually, even yesterday in my stream, I got asked if I was an Aussie, and I'm like, why? I haven't even said cunt once this, or the get a dog up, you mate, or whatever the hell all you guys say. I don't understand it, but you do
Look,
it.
the thing that exposes you as not being an Aussie is the fact that you still say Aussie, the classic American way of saying Aussie. Aussie.
Yeah.
Aussie.
Yeah.
So 2015 as well would have been an interesting time to start playing it, because for those of us who were playing it back then, man, it was a broken, janky ass fucking game, but it still just had that allure around it.
Yeah. I Well, I don't really remember too much. I played a lot of like overly modded servers. Nowadays, you can't catch me on anything too modded anymore. I primarily play the day one servers. Um, uh, and I will say, like, I was kind of feeling around 2015. I don't know how long day one's been around. I don't feel that long. But whenever smoke started, I can't remember. But
Pre-pandemic, easily. That's been around quite some time.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
servers.
yeah, right, okay, yeah, and I was having a hard time finding servers to play on. I wasn't in the community. I wasn't in day or like Twitch, and that's like just a whole nother community of its
Yep.
own. I fucked around and went to Reddit, which was an awful idea. Um, so
Yep.
it took me a while, and then I really gotta say though, with the launch of Essiker, which it was about a little over 2 years ago, that really got me really into DayZ some more. And one of my favorite maps is Namalsk. I fucking hated Namalsk 2 years ago. You couldn't get me to play that map. And then finally, I tend to end up loving things I hate. That's why I married my husband. So it's like, it just takes time.
I love that.
But yeah.
He's no doubt watching. Yeah. Thanks,
No,
man.
he's like, we have separate offices, and I'll say the most weird things. Like my moms were even like, don't say this today. Like, all this stuff. And he'll just like open my office door and stare at me and just shake his head. He's like, I don't fucking know what I got into with this one. But he's super supportive. So
You just made me think of one of my missus's favorite songs is a Pink one where the lyrics are something along the lines of I love you so much I hate you.
Mhm.
I want to choke you and wrap my hands around your neck. I think it's something. Yeah, don't sing, boy.
Yeah.
The viewer count just dropped by about half with me singing, but
Yeah.
yeah. But no. So, what made you flick the switch to start streaming?
I didn't want to work for my money anymore. So I figured if I'm going to sit on my ass and play games. But no, seriously, I've always been into content creation. I'm a huge YouTuber. I've followed PewDiePie since the day
His
since he had
evolution is
500.
absolutely fascinating. Watching,
It's the best.
yeah, it is like whether you love him or you hate him. I know a lot of people hate him; they think he's a Nazi and all the rest of it. He's not. Fucking pull your heads in. That word gets thrown around so easily these
It does.
days.
Yeah, it does.
But his evolution has just been fascinating as a content creator. And yeah, I think it's kind of like the goal that everyone wants to get to. That boy grinded and grinded like a motherfucker, following all the trends, setting trends, making
Yeah.
some big mistakes along the way. And look where he is now. He uploads videos where he shows off his wardrobe. Bit of a weird flex, but he does it in a way
I
that's
would
not so arrogant. But then he'll sit down and do a 40-minute video reviewing books that he's read, and not just
Right.
talk about like a Mad magazine. He's talking about some quite insightful and in-depth books. It's fascinating purely from that side of it, whether you like the guy or not.
So one thing about one of my best friends, Dr. Peppermint, is Swedish. So I've learned a lot
Yep.
about Swedish people in the last 2 years. And one thing, and that also, I knew PewDiePie was Swedish, but I didn't really give a shit. All I cared about was meatballs and IKEA, and then PewDiePie.
Yep.
So whatever, I was very insensitive or uncultured. But one thing about Swedes I actually have learned over the last 2 years is that they are essentially like raised to not gloat, to not ever feel like they're better than anybody else, that they're not as, like their king does his own dishes or something like that. Like they're supposedly very nonchalant people when it comes to like their accomplishments and stuff. So when you said like when he shows his closet, he does it in some way that doesn't even seem condescending, doesn't seem like up in your face. Yeah, I think that's also been part of his allure, though. That's why I think people really have attached to him, because he doesn't really gloat that much.
And
he has really fucked up. But
yeah, and that's one of the things I love about him. He's a very intelligent guy, but he's also got a fucked up sense of humor. Like the whole, we won't go too far into the wording because I think we're
PUBG?
pushing. No, there's the infamous bridge scene. We don't talk about the bridge scene anymore. I'm talking more about the Fiverr incident. That video was just wow, and the implication that had, and it just goes to show that content creators really need to be aware of the impact that they can have. He didn't mean anything negative by it, but in retrospect, should he have uploaded that video? Probably not. But at the same time,
Right.
it was one of those landmark moments of YouTube history. For those who
Yeah.
don't know what we're talking about, just Google PewDiePie Fiverr. And they're the only two words I think I'm prepared to say from that video, Matt.
Yeah. No, but that was a good point though, to just kind of like, if there's one thing, because I've gotten asked, I'm not a big streamer or anything of that sort, but I've just been doing it for 2 years, so I get asked quite often, like, what's your advice? And one of the things I do say is just be mindful of what you say. I tend to drink and stream, and there's been I've had people pull clips from my channel for their own drama segments on their channels.
Oh.
So yeah, you guys suck. Anyway, I always tell them I'm giving you free content, but I do need to think sometimes. I've definitely tried to dial it back a bit. I can rage. I'm a rager. That's just how I've always played games. Like, and so I'll call somebody a fucking cunt, you fucking bitch, you low life. I'll go off. But it doesn't mean anything. I don't know anything about you, but there's people out there that want to hurt you, that want to do damage, that may be jealous of something.
Yep.
So they're going to find it, they're going to clip it, and they're going to make it look really fucking bad and do a 30-minute segment on their channel to thousands of people.
Look, there's I'm not, again, I won't go into it too much, but there's a streamer out there, those who know, and there's people who've saved up a clip of them saying a bad taste joke from so many years ago, and whenever they disagree with the guy, they've got it saved on their computers. They've got it saved in little links where they can share it and go, this you, and it's like,
right,
dude. Oh, I do not like that. I do not like the people who sit there in their Discords and screenshotting and everything like that to save it for a moment when if something's that egregious, talk about it at the fucking time. Otherwise, let it go. You're just being a fuck it. You've been saying it. I'm going to make you feel like you're at home. You're just being a petty little cunt when you fucking do shit like that.
Yes!
Here we go.
Yeah, I
You
support
set him
that.
off now.
We've set him off.
No,
There we go.
There's a lot of like, you kind of have to be a little bit of a narcissist to play or to stream. Okay, you kind of have to be a little bit, right? We're like, I stream with the camera. I have to have something wrong with me, right? Mentally, which I do know about. So, but like, there's also other people out there that on this platform or on the internet in general. There's always an agenda. People will. They're like, I've met people in the last 2 years, big name streamers. I haven't met them, but like, I've discussed with them online and stuff that have essentially used me for their own agenda. And I'm like, fuck, I got played like a dumb bitch. Like, holy shit. And it's scary because like you have this, people will paint an image of what they want you to see. I fell for it. I'm 31 years old. And I'm wondering what they're doing to even younger people or what other people are probably doing it to me right now that I don't know about. So it is scary about what people could have on you. Also, people can doctor shit up. That's another fucking thing.
Oh, mate, all this stuff with the deep fakes and all the rest of it that's happening right now is just like, and I saw something explained as well. Those of us who have an online presence, we are much more vulnerable to it. Like, you've only got to look at the stuff that happened with Joe Rogan, where they made up the false ads of him. All these clips we're seeing at the moment of the presidents, which I think are quite funny, the videos of the presidents playing video games where they're trash talking each other. They're funny.
Yeah.
If you ignore the underlying, most of the time, sadly, when people make something like that, they're trying to get through a political ideology or something like that, and they can't just do it for fun. But because there's so much footage of us, and in the case of someone like Joe Rogan, the guy's got thousands of hours of video for the AI to learn from, so it can make some really, really good AI generated stuff of him. And the more that you are online, the more you have a webcam going. They can find all your facial expressions, your voice, and it's scary. I'm worried about it a bit myself. But
the voice stuff's actually a lot more dangerous and powerful right now than the video. The video, even really good ones, if you've got a bit of an eye, you can look at them and say, yeah, I can see that's got a little bit of sus about it. But the voice stuff, I actually just saw a demo of it last week, that with 2 minutes of audio, unless you have a very thick accent, if you're just speaking in American, or I think I forget think I saw one that was with a British accent, and
Oh
and
God,
you
could you
couldn't
could you imagine trying to do Uncle Ray Ray?
You just gotta scream the whole time.
I think I need to bung on my Aussie accent a bit more there, and you might need to go a bit I don't even really know what a British equivalent would be. Probably Uncle Ray Ray's Cobra. So yeah, we might need to start changing our accents a bit, mate, so we don't get caught in this bloody AI crap, eh?
Well, what I was gonna say, even besides the AI thing, this was a legit thing that came to me. So I've been offered weird things, like weird sexual things since streaming. The biggest one was, I will pay you money for your clips of you sneezing. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
that's some strange stuff. That is.
Yeah.
That's
So
odd.
now I have this running joke in my channel because I'm also just still a dumb bitch. Every time I sneeze, I'll either shut my camera off and I'll be like, if you want that, you got to pay $25. I'll give it to you for $25.
Yeah.
But I had this
Yeah,
guy one time
crazy stuff.
DM me. Oh, it's fucking weird. This dude DM'd me and he's like, I'll send you a hoodie. If you sit on it, butt naked from the bottom down, right? And fart and queef into it, I'll give you $500. I was like, what? What?
So you did it.
No, it was too low money. I wanted more. He said you're not good enough for it.
Fair enough.
Man,
If I had,
it is so like it's easy for guys to forget the shit you women have to put up with from fucking perverted freaks out there. That is just like when you said that, I was like, who comes up with this shit? Who seriously? Oh my God. I
got stories upon stories for that stuff.
Oh my God. I think we're going to have to do a podcast late at night edition.
I forgot. Yeah, sorry.
Oh my, that is just bizarre, man. It must make you feel a little bit sick inside. Like, oh.
It makes me feel better about myself because I think I'm a fucked up individual, but I've never DM'd somebody
There
to
you
fart
go.
on a hoodie for me. So
There you go.
Yeah. But if anyone's serious about that, my asking price is $2K.
2K, there you go.
There you go.
Salty Six is saying in chat 4,500. You went too low, girl. You went too low.
Yeah, I mean, I could produce quite a bit. I'm a gassy individual. That's what I'm saying.
beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot.
That's why when you ask me about, I'm like, why would these people want me on this fucking podcast? I am not fit for talking.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
public.
are. Look, I tweet this out quite regularly. That I much prefer people who are what I consider more real. I've had a little bit of drama the last couple of weeks over some of the views I post on my personal account, and the missus was chatting to me. She goes, "Boydie, really? Can anyone cancel you? Everyone knows what you're like. They know what you're like, and you've still managed to build the audience that you have. I don't think that anyone's going to, oh my God, Boydie has this view? Really? I didn't know that. No, everyone fucking knows what you're like, Boydie. You're a social hand grenade. You sometimes type away and speak up before you think about it, but that's kind of what you are. And I'm much more happier being that way because you see, most of the time when people get exposed, it's when people find out that they're not really who they appear to be, that there's something they're hiding about themselves and shit. I don't hide fuck all. I'm a very open book, and I think that's one of the safer ways to be, unless you are, like a genuine Nazi or some other sort of weird wacko individual. Just be yourself, because it's impossible to keep up facade, isn't it, Falcon?
Oh, for sure.
You're going to get exposed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, it's a lot more work.
Yeah, I would be exhausted.
Keep up the fakery. Yeah.
Yep. Oh God, what did I say last week? And I'm getting confused over what did I say I did and all the rest of it. That's how these fakers always get exposed, Cobra. They lie about something and then they say something else that counter contradicts what they said. And just be yourself. It's not that hard.
So what I'm hearing is you're the drama queen on the show. You're the one.
Without
I think you hit it.
Guilty as
you hit it
charged.
in one.
Guilty as charged.
He causes the bloody shite that we have to clear up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Any press is good press, especially in this business.
Okay.
Look at these. They are not for it. They're not for it.
Boy, and
Anyway.
look, sometimes I do stir. Sometimes I do. There's nothing wrong with a good shit stir every now and then. People do it to me, and I own it. I love it when someone gets me good. It's
Yeah.
you got to have fun. Life's too short to be too serious. You just got to be able to have a bit of
I
a
agree.
chuckle and a laugh and all the rest of it. But yeah, I love being surrounded by the freaks and the geeks and all the weirdos and stuff like that because I
Yeah.
can be myself. I don't have to hide who I am. We're all complicated individuals, and yeah. I'm
Yeah.
quite as happy discussing politics or philosophy as I am discussing, the latest fart joke and the latest Stimpy video and stuff like that. It's just, yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
do
feel that.
what you love, talk about what you love, and yeah, Scar Speeder in chat. I can hear Cobra's teeth grinding.
Yeah.
But it kind of went wrong when we started talking about feet, mate. So I'm
He's not
not
been
one
happy
for
the whole
feet.
time.
I'm not one for feet. I'll tell you that right now.
He's
But
a
anyway, we're good.
he's a closet foot fetish.
Hashtag kink shaming.
Horrible. Anyway, move on, buddy.
We are going to move on. So, what's been some of the biggest challenges for you with like getting your name out there and starting to grow in the channel? Because you're getting a pretty sizable following right now.
I don't suck enough cock, is what I've learned. I'm not good at it. Virtual cock sucking, I'm not good at riding dick of other people to get where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I want, whenever I get there, if I get there, well, it's a fucking pain in the ass. So you can respect it all you want, but it's pain. Because I'm not like, there's this new term. I can't fucking remember what it's called, but it's like a streamer will raid snipe somebody essentially, where they go into somebody right before they're about to end their stream.
Mhm.
And like they know, like it's one of the bigger streamers that has a schedule that you kind of know like when they're gonna end. You go in, you make a ruckus a little bit, you say hi, whatever. That person goes to end stream, and you just started your stream, and you were the last person to come in and say hi, essentially. On top of already the streamers that stream snipe bigger streamers, because I'm not gonna pretend that doesn't fucking happen, because it does. Yeah, it's just been hard. That's the biggest challenge.
How dare you imply that? That's
Because I
something.
don't have actual proof. I'm not allowed to say anything, but we all fucking know it. We all say it. We
Yeah.
all think it. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
pretend anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was been my biggest issue. It's been 2 years. I've been able to apply for partnerships since October of last year. I've gotten denied every time I've applied. And I've gotten to the point of fuck it. When it comes to that, it may be my mouth that may be hurting me there, but oh well. But then, yeah, I guess that's been my biggest thing. But I will say I've had really good talks, like the Aussie community and the Aussie streamers. So like
Aussie.
Aussie, whatever. I'm an
Aussie,
American. Respect
Aussie.
my culture, okay? And my accent.
Wow.
You are. There's already a comment in chat there. Josie Garfunkel. She's raw. I think she's my new favorite streamer. You're
Aw.
winning some hearts and minds in here, buddy. Even Skullspeeder. I think Maddgree's the female version of Mr. Stormcloud, Archie Stormcloud. Have you ever played with Archie?
I have not.
You need to. I think you and him would be fucking X-rated. Oh my fucking God. I think him,
We can stream on OnlyFans.
Kill Beans, Facility,
No facility. Daddy.
Yeah.
I call him Daddy.
Yep. There's quite a budding YouTube community of streamers going, mate. So if you ever feel Twitch, you're on the out of there, they will welcome you with open arms over there, playing with them. They're absolutely phenomenal. You watch them when they play together, and they're very real. It's one of the things I love about them. I don't know whether it's so much because of the platform. When you consider it, YouTube's probably more sensorial than Twitch is. But they just really go. Yeah, Archie is a riot. He loves to offend. He loves to offend. That's his.
Loves to offend.
Yeah. Yep. I love the guy so much. Just because he sees himself. He doesn't hide who he is, and yeah, he's an absolute. He's a bogan, as we say here in Australia.
Yeah.
Yep. But no, I know where you're coming from with that. With the whole, you feel like you have to, kowtow and do the right things, play the right servers, and all the rest of it. And it just gets a bit too much, doesn't it? You just want to be yourself.
Well, and I'm an awful fucking liar, and that's the thing. Like, and as much shit as I talk, I know I'm a human being still, and I'm gonna have to go to bed at night. And do I want to work my ass off for something that I know I didn't get it right? Like, I didn't do it, like, what's the word? Ethically, essentially. Which is surprising, right? Because I sound like a fucking sailor, but I do have some goddamn ethics to me. So there is no rule book really on this whole streaming thing either. So it's kind of just like, I don't ever want to get caught for doing anything like that. I've had bigger streamers reach out to me and be like, hey, you should view bot. You would get there. And I'm like, I don't want to view bot.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Respect that you think I could get there, but I would like to just hold on to people by, like, if they like me, they like me. I don't want to get somewhere, because you see people that get there and shit dies down, and it's sad. It's really sad to watch. I want to do it my way, and I've been very stubborn about that for 2 years. People are always like, Maddie has to do it her way. And I'm like, I'm just being it. Like, that's just who I am. Like, but I think that's been, and on top of all of that being hard, it's also kind of hard to not think, well, fuck. It's like kind of like playing, in the big leagues, everyone's on steroids, and you're like, no, I want to do this all natural. And you're like, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to do it. It's never going to happen. But you find good people. Like, there's a couple of really, there's bigger streamers that, like, and I don't want to just name drop for the sake of name dropping, but like Lax Hawthorne, he's been a tremendous inspiration to me. Now, I don't know everything that he's ever done, but he's been always super kind to me, and he's always shown me, great kindness and advice. And Chuck G-Unit, same thing. Fucking DayZ Evie, same thing. Dr. Peppermint, like all these people. I see Sewell in the chat. Sewell, like, so there are really good ones out there that have given me just good advice. Not just like a easy cut to get somewhere.
And that's it. You can do some of those nasty little things, but people know. We all know when you go into a chat and you see, that it's got 400 or 500 viewers and the chat is dead as fuck.
Right.
They know.
Yeah.
The worst part is not many people will call it out. I haven't, because it's still conjectural. You can't be 100% certain unless you get proof of them paying for a viewbot or anything like that. It's all circumstantial, and they can easily turn it around on you and say you're just being vindictive.
Right. And so this is something, and I've talked about this in my channel too. It's like, I've noticed it on other channels, and I just honestly don't give a fuck. If that's how you want to do it, okay, play the game that way. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't, like, I will go back to the saying, you're not eating my pussy, you're not paying my bills, I don't give a fuck, Yep. I believe enough in myself, my channel, my community. If we get there, we get there whenever we get there, so. But we all think it, though, when we go into a channel and you got 500 plus views and your chat's dead. So don't think we don't think it just because we're not saying it. Yeah. We think it.
There is a decent little bit of software that you can use if you are so inclined to check. And again, it's circumstantial.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
But it's basically a website, t.3v.fi/chatters/ CH equals, and then you put in the channel name. I've got it saved as a link. It's from a video I watched by Devin Nash. You need to watch the video to understand how it works. But this guy basically, he's a marketing online promoter, runs his own company, has clients the likes of what's the name, Amaranth, people like that. So some big names, and basically using this tool, if the numbers are about 80% less that this shows than what the actual stream is showing, there's an indicator something's wrong. And you can test this across, you can go and watch test Shroud, and Shroud will have, about 80%. And then you find some of these channels, and I've seen them, and it's like they're at 40%. And you're like, there's some fuckery going on right now. But he says, there's a number of reasons why that fuckery could be happening. It could be, external links and things like that, where the viewers aren't showing up fully. But there are ways, and you look for patterns. And I just keep my eye on it. There's some people I know who have suspicious figures, but again, without concrete proof, you can't do shit. and then they can
Yeah.
always, I think it's part of Twitch's services as well. You're not allowed to talk negatively about other creators on the platform,
Fuck
partners.
that,
Things.
because I know some big ass streamers that have done that. So fuck that shit right there.
Yeah.
Some big ass partner DayZ streamers do that shit.
Yep.
So I fucking hate that that's even a rule. You only get past it when you're partnered and big. No. I've been a fucking victim to that shit too. So fuck that.
Giovanni calling me out in Twitch chat, pretending not to know Amaranth's name. Amaranth? Who's Amaranth? I never heard of her. What's she, like a variety entertainer?
People get mad about Amaranth and being on Twitch, but here's what I will say: is don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
Twitch allowed it.
I respect her hustle. I do not like the sexualized content. I'm not a fan of that. Maybe because I'm not a prepubescent teenage boy anymore. But I have to admire her hustle. The girl is grinding it. The girl is making bank. And I can't deny, the work ethic that she's shown. It's insane. That's about all I want to go into on Amaranth, but I can see it's boring Cobra up there.
I'm struggling anyway.
Are you a fan of Amaranth?
Oh.
You one of the only fans on the Amaranth?
Yeah, no, of course. I pay my monthly fees, mate. It's all good.
She is bae, Marx is saying in chat. Love it. But
yeah, she's good.
So what sort of style do you normally play, Maddie? You say you go by Annie in game?
Yeah, I go by Annie in game. And I got that from the movie Misery because I live in Missouri. So yeah. And then the character's name is Annie and she carries around a sledgy. So, and I love to carry around a sledgy.
Have you read the book?
So I go by Annie. Fuck no. I watched the movie.
The book is so much more fucking insane. That character from Misery. Oh my fucking God.
Maybe I should read it then.
Yeah. The sledgehammer, she does worse than that IRL. She does not IRL, in the book. In the book, I was like, oh, mate. Stephen King is one sick fucking weirdo, man. That guy is...
Yeah, I think he's got some fucking actual dead bodies somewhere in one of his houses.
Yeah. And the whole thing with it, that is creepy as fuck.
Oh, that's good, man. I love it.
I love it. Yeah. I love the new It.
No, I'm talking about in the book how the kids all collect their power to kill him in the first half. If you've read the book, I'm not going any further because that is serious demonetization territory. But let's just say there was one girl and a lot of boys, and they all had to focus their energy. I'm watching your face. Yeah, and he wrote that in the book. And they're all kids. Like from what I remember, they were all like about 12.
Stephen King, man.
Dude's
his face
up.
Is looking weird.
Yes, isn't it? He's turning into like a Skeletor looking.
He's turning into his final form. He will be the villain, and he'll write a book about it.
He is an amazing storyteller, Salty. Like I remember reading it when I was a kid, and it scared the living shit out of me. Absolutely. But yeah, I got a bit older, and it was like, really? He wrote that all the kids did that with the girl to focus their power to take out Pennywise? Okay, that's a bit odd, but okay. The guy lives in a mansion with creepy old wrought iron gates and okay.
He looks like that.
Yeah. Very, 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 very strange man. But an amazing author. Amazing author.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
But we're getting off on tangents too much here. It's like we're at a bar and we're just chatting.
This is the format of the show, mate. Like I said,
good. It's good. Okay.
Yeah.
My play style is just pure chaos. So
good.
Yeah.
You got to mix it up. Do you get? Sorry, go Cobra.
I was going to say. So, what's your? What would you say your strengths are in your gameplay right now? Is it PvP? Is it
talking shit? Oh, PvP. Yeah. I'm getting better at PvP. I'm really working on my sniping shit. I'm really big on trying to do the best with the iron sights. I have my favorite scopes, but I really want to focus on the iron sights, hip firing, shit like that. As I get drunker on stream, it gets harder.
There's something to iron sight sniping with the Mosin as well. It's almost like it's the ultimate way to kill someone. A snipe over a few hundred meters with the Mosin, you just feel boss level. You're like,
oh yeah. So I've been focusing on that, like where I've come from, even in the last 6 months, as like when I did the spy event, or when I was the spy in the War of the Women's, getting to kind of put my PvP skills, because like I killed four or five people as a spy general, so that made me feel really good about myself because because you always kind of second guess or doubt yourself. Or at least I do. I'm always like, fuck, I'm gonna die. Oh, they're gonna catch me. Oh, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna start a fight I can't finish. So when that went extremely well, for me at least as the spy, gave me a little bit of a confidence boost, and ever since then I've been really kind of trying to focus more. Like, so I play Namalsk primarily lately, and going south, I really want to focus on those heavy firefights. Sniping, listening to where my footsteps are coming. Where are they going to go? Always trying to try to map out where the opponent is, shit like that. But besides that, like, so I'll have a really good life down south and I'll fucking die to what the fuck ever. Then I get spawned in Lubjanks and I just want to throw a fucking grenade in the fireplace. I don't know. You can't, it's just back and forth with me. So
did you get caught out? Did anyone work out that you was a spy in the event?
Yeah, so I killed one. I think her name was Alaska. I killed her twice, I think. And I at least killed her once. She came back. She told some people, and I was able to kind of lie about it, but I'm like giggling and laughing and like, oh fuck, blah blah blah. And then they started to realize, like, oh shit, it's a general. There's only really one general left. And then I died again, and they knew it was me. So
yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it?
It was fun though. That was Ariana threw on that was a fun fucking event. I was so nervous to be the spy too. But that was really fun. So
she's really killing it with some of those events at the moment. But I really feel for her as well, because there's so much stress in putting on events. And yeah, I know she's been struggling with numbers for some events, and people have lives. They want to do it, but at the end of the day, these aren't like serious prizes on the line events or anything like that. So when life comes up, they've got to pull out. But it's disheartening, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's something she's talked about, and I kind of really resonate with it, is that she kind of gets into wanting to do it all on her own, and I get that. It's her babies essentially, and really, like, nobody's getting paid to help her. So like, if they help her, how does she know they're going to help her, to the level that she would do it on her own? And I've kind of, peeked in a couple of her streams, and she talks about it, or, she talks about it on Twitter and whatnot. And I totally get where she's coming from. I mean, I can't even plan a community night event for my community without stressing. So I can't even imagine. But she's knocked them all out of the park in my mind. People are going to say whatever they want about an event. Then you fucking plan something. I would love to see.
It is not easy.
Yeah. So I'm always like, you shut the fuck up. Like, what is there to bitch about? Like, I know. So I was a part of the team with the tent in the last War of the Survivors thing. So I know that was an issue. I'm like, guys, just shut the fuck up. We all had fun. Well,
I saw that bit of a debacle on there, and this comes back to he who shall not be named, the absolute twat, carrying on about people running these events and there being bugs, issues, and all the rest of it. And I'm not going to say that maybe some favoritism has been shown. It may have. We're all human, but
right.
For the most part, fuck off, mate. Come on. These people like Happy Bombs and Ariana and God knows Spaggy, God knows who else, they're just trying to put on events because they're either growing their brand, and I've got no issue with that. Happy Bombs, Ariana, definitely doing it to grow their brands. Spaggy, he's a bit of an outlier, just like to do whatever Spaggy does for whatever Spaggy's reasons are. But to come in there and carry on about cheating and organised corruption, dude, there's no money being made in this. Yeah. If anything, if things go to shit, they stand to lose a reputation. And people won't want to do their next events. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. And all of that stuff about the tent, we live and we learn. Okay, the tent was a bad idea. So be it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's all the thing it is. And there was some people that got called like cheating and whatnot, got called that they were cheating and that from that. I'm like, can we just fucking play the goddamn fucking game that has bugs and hasn't been fixed in over 10 fucking years? Okay. We're not playing
Unintended
like,
game
tournaments.
features. Unintended
Just shut
game
up.
features.
You shut the fuck up.
Go into my Discord and try and type the word bugs, and we'll see how fucking smart you are then, girly. Huh? I've got a rule set up there. It confuses the fuck out of everyone. They'll come in to complain about
great.
a bug in DayZ, and they get a warning, and they're like, What word did I say? Is there a list of words I'm not allowed to say? And we all sit there, and it's been an ongoing dad joke, and I'll have to retire it soon. But for the most part, people have just left, what? Bugs? You're not allowed to say bugs in here. Warning, you have been warned. Doesn't do anything, doesn't kick you or anything. It's just a...
Right.
Yeah. So we call them unintended game features. But yeah.
Well, they said they fixed the ADS bug, but instead they gave us everyone falls through the map now. Everyone suffers from Aussie ping.
That's just a classic case of what old is new again. You know, we used to fall through the map all the time, and then we stopped falling through the map, and now we'll probably see a swimming craze come again soon, Falcon. Everyone will be swimming like sharks under the map and getting into bases, and thinking about it, still does that on console, doesn't it?
Yeah, getting shipped to debug.
Yeah,
that's when you get sent to the cornfield because you did something bad.
Instead of the gulag, you go to the cornfield.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that.
Push him into the cornfield. Push him into the cornfield.
Just got a message from Lemons. He's not feeling well, so he won't be here today. He sent me through an adorable little pug that looks really, really sick and lying in bed. So, yeah. So, sadly, no Lemons will be joining us today. So, sorry, console crowd. We'll do our best to try to talk about you, but none of us really know shit about console other than it helped keep DayZ alive. So, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's start moving on with some of the agenda items. We'll start with the big announcement. Did you guys all see the announcement from Sacriel and Shroud about their upcoming survival title? I, as always, have an opinion, but let's start with you all. And Maddie, ladies first.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Listen, somebody always has something, okay? I get tired of listening until it gets put out. You know how many games we've been promised the last few years?
Right.
And they just suck dick with it. So it's like, let's all the hype, whatever, fuck it. Just get it out and let's see it then.
I don't care what name is associated, Cobra. Just look at Dr. Disrespect's game and, this weird talk of NFTs in there and stuff like that. And everyone just going, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy shit, mate. Crazy stuff.
What do you think of the concept of the game? Any opinions based on the admittedly very limited information we know?
Well, I think, as you just said, mate, it's very difficult to form a decent evidential opinion whenever you don't really know the full details or even after details, do you? So I'm going to reserve my opinion until we know what's going on.
Falcon?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I really, to the point now where I just don't believe or just totally disregard if somebody's trying to get the hype train going for a game that they're just starting to develop or have a concept. It's like, come back in 2 years when you actually have it put together, because these things are hard. It's the same thing with new maps. Same thing with new maps in DayZ, where people put them out in an early access sort of way. Hey, it's 20% complete, but it's a good concept. It's like, I get it. You're proud. You want to show it off. It's got some interesting areas for 500 square meters or something. And then outside of that, okay, come back to when it's 80% done.
Right.
So it looks like it's going to be up to me to cause controversy. I'm going to play the release trailer, and then I will give you my reasoning as to why I have some concerns based on once again, a caveat, the very limited information we have.
I want to build the best game ever. That is my goal, and that's Splash Damage's goal as well.
One of my dreams for the last few years has been to go on Twitch and see people playing a game that I've been a part of.
Hi, I'm Lance Winter, Creative Director here at Splash Damage. I'm here with Sacriel and Shroud, and we are making a game together.
Funny enough, how we got here is a message from Sacriel. Long message kind of saying, like, what if we reached out and tried to make a game together? And I instantly hit him with like 3 words. I was like, yeah, I'm down.
he had his bunch of ideas, I had my bunch of ideas. We kind of met in the middle, and we were like, wait a minute, this is actually amazing. If we could find someone to work with that's already in this similar vein, maybe we could make some magic. Splash themselves were at a pivotal point where they were already on the track to make a game with the majority of the kind of features Mike and I were working on.
Bringing the experience and the knowledge that Sacriel and Shroud provide within the survival genre, plus the 20 plus years of expertise we have at building awesome shooters within Splash Damage, merge them together to create something entirely new.
I think what my community is kind of looking forward to when it comes to me kind of working on this project is a lot about the gunplay. How do these weapons behave and how the ballistics work? How does the recoil work? If you're making a shooter game, a survival shooter game, the gunplay is really important. And I always thought in the back of my mind, like, how fun would it be to see if I could like work with a studio to implement some of these thoughts.
So I can remember my first kill in my first survival game. I can remember it very vividly because those games tell more of a story than any other genre.
For me, what makes survival incredibly compelling is this pervasive sense of tension and of drama in the game. And that's something we're bringing into Project Asterisk.
To push the boundaries of a game and to create something that we've not really seen in the industry before takes such an outrageous amount of talent and hard work. Just to facilitate the way we're innovating in our game is just mind-blowing.
My favorite part about doing this so far and working on this project is just sharing everything that's on my mind. I get to actually see what the developers actually think about the things that are in my head. And there's just so much more than I could have ever thought when it comes to working on a project like this.
So this collaboration is really important to us at Splash Damage. We've got the ability to do something really new in survival, build an IP from the ground up, and that's a 1 in a million opportunity. Hopefully this is going to be a 1 in a million game.
Okay,
Well,
so Cobra, what were you going to say, buddy?
yeah, I mean, obviously this early on, you can't really get a feel for what this is going to be like potentially. I mean, they're talking the right talk, aren't they? I mean, he's clearly concerned about the gameplay and weapons and how they're going to interact and stuff. So that's a positive. But I mean, we don't know anything. Is it going to be a map, 2 maps? Is it going to be like, is it going to be where in the world?
What engine is being built on? We don't even know that.
Yeah,
yeah. There was one thing. There was one thing I took from that, Maddie, that concerned me, and there was very little talk of the survival aspect of the game. It seems like their main focus is all about the gunplay side of it. And when you consider the background of these two guys, Shroud, a competitive FPS shooter player, a professional CSGO player, and an absolute god tier PvP. You watch that guy. You go search YouTube and just type in Shroud Insane, and you're going to get 1,000 videos pop up of him doing some of the most insane shit. Sacriel, for those who remember him from, he's one of the OGs of DayZ Standalone. He was one of the massive guys back in the early days. When Frankie was all the rage, Sacriel was huge. But Sacriel played DayZ back then almost like a milsim. When you watched him running with his guys, they were doing call-outs and flanking, and there was none of that raw sort of survival side of it. Now, DayZ back then had very little in the way of survival mechanics. It's evolved to have a lot more. What my concern is what's the main thing we hear from these FPS shooter type guys? They all just complain about, there's that clip getting around recently of the Summit versus Shroud firefight on Namolsk, if people saw that.
Oh.
And Summit complaining about the fucking zombies interfering with the gunfight. That's DayZ, though. That's part and parcel of, and it wasn't that long ago he was complaining about the grass, the trees, and they all complain about so many aspects of the game that the majority of us don't either complain about or, I won't say the majority, I'll say that a good portion actually love. I'm playing Deer Isle at the moment, and I love finding those areas of the long grass. Because in my mind I'm sneaking through them, and it's like, what if I bump into another fucking player right in front of me? I'm not even going to see them. We just had someone rework Churnerers to be a jungle map. The jungle, for those who've never been in there, it's fucking close quarters combat. Literally, you bump into people. It is not fucking nice territory to be in. It's scary as fuck. That's all I worry about, that they're going to go too focused on the shooter side of the game and forget the survival. There's the worry that they could go like Scum. Scum arguably has gone too far with the survival mechanics, with the in-depth crafting and medical and all the rest of it. But Pooping's kind of fun though. Pooping is, other than when you have to stop and shit and you're right in front of a one of those mechs and it's, would you like a cookie, and then fucking sends you back to Respawnville again. But that's my main fear that I got from that. The two guys involved in it are more known for PvP than they are for embracing the true survival aspect of a game like DayZ.
Well, I think we're already seeing the impacts of the bigger dudes, PvP guys, playing DayZ with the latest DayZ updates. Like the whole I can't zoom when sprinting type stuff like this, which has nothing to do with survival, right? But still, like, come on, why did that have to get? Why was that a change? Is that because we're trying to go more PvP route?
That was an odd
change.
What is
DayZ?
That was an odd change.
So it's like, and every update, they kind of keep going closer and closer to being, what did they do a couple weeks, or I can't remember, but it pissed me off and I ranted.
The water. Was it the inertia water stuff?
I think that's part of this latest update, right? Where you're heavier now too?
Yeah. And especially if you're,
so this is taking away from, right. So, I don't know. That's hard. I think if Summit or whatever the fuck, Shroud, Sacriel, whatever, I don't care. There's too many S's. Wants to make a PvP survival game, then go ahead, leave DayZ alone. I need DayZ to stop fucking doing what they're doing. Just realized
something as well. We do know what engine they're doing it on. Unreal. It's in the trailer at the end. I can see the logo right next to, because I was going to say, Falcon, what do we know about splash damage? I've never heard of them before. No offense to them.
I've never heard of them either. But it sounds like they're one of many of those kind of small to medium sized shops. But who knows? I don't know. With this video, I just looked at it as it's pure hype train. I could hear the pitch meeting saying, "Okay, how do we talk about the game without saying anything about the game?"
It says to me that this is like too young in its history, in its lifespan to be putting something like that out.
That's risky as well, isn't it, Cobra? Like I've been guilty so many times in the past of hyping something up. Fucking Mario, where's our bloody AI and bloody animation software?
Well, look at the.
I love Mario, by the way, but I do that. So the day before, great example, Cobra.
Yeah,
I mean, how good did that look graphically?
Yeah,
that was
brilliant,
fantastic, right? And what's happened? It's been taken down off Steam. It ain't coming out. Yeah. What's that been supposed to come out for the last 3 years, isn't it?
The day before.
I think it's pretty hardcore. The last year and a half, they've been pushing the deadline out.
Well, it clearly just says, there was talk about whether that was just a demo or something, wasn't there? Or whether it's actually a fully built game. And
it was a vertical slice. Crazy. It was clearly a vertical slice.
It's pity though, because it did look pretty good.
Yeah,
but there you go. But we need to know more anyway. We need to know a lot more about it than where it currently is anyway. At least give us a little bit of example footage, proper example footage, even if it's a 10-second clip, 20-second clip or something.
Right.
Okay, so we asked the question, and I think that we should be fair and actually show what games they've been in. Just because we've never heard of them doesn't mean that they aren't doing anything. And they've got some big name stuff, Transformers Reactivate. I've never heard of the game, but it's a Transformers title, so that could be anything. Outcasters, never heard of that. Gears Tactics, I'm guessing that's a Gears of War franchise. Yep. Halo MCC.
That's pretty big.
Gears 5. 31, Gears of War 4. So Batman Arkham. Wolfenstein. So they've got some experience under their belt. So that's actually quite refreshing to see, isn't it, Maddie?
Yeah.
I guess my question would be: are those all titles that they built themselves, or they were involved in? Yeah, they made the pickaxe or something in the game.
Wow.
Oh, good point.
Well, let's hope it's not as small as that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point.
I
though.
know if I was a small to medium sized shop like that, and did some contracts with some bigger
Oh,
game
yeah.
titles, and yeah, we made the tires on the the little Batman mobile or whatever.
Right.
So
Okay,
Michael's
we'll throw it
saying
up
in
on
chat they're actually a pretty big studio. They specialize in helping other
Okay.
devs with multiplayer. They've been around a long time. So fingers crossed. I do wish them the best, because as much as this is a DayZ podcast, I'm a DayZ fanboy, confessed one. Competition is good, and barring Rust, Scum, there's really been no one else in the survival genre to challenge DayZ. The others have all come and gone, and they're up and down, and their own internal problems, dead matter aside, we haven't seen anyone truly challenge DayZ. And as we talked about a few weeks back, Falcon, there is a thirst for more games in this genre. You look at.
Absolutely.
I talked about how DayZ still has not hit the same concurrent peak of players as Scum achieved when it first released. The hype around Scum was massive, and people bought into it, and it's dropped off. But to their credit, they're still going. But there is a thirst, because DayZ has upset a lot of people along the way, whether it be from Dean going off to climb Mount Everest or whatever. There's a lot of people who, show me on the doll where DayZ touched you, is kind of the mentality they have whenever anything gets said about DayZ. But we shall see what they come out with. I just hope that it's not purely, it's one of the things that's I've struggled, Maddie, to play Escape from Tarkov for. Escape from Tarkov is primarily a shooter. I'm not a shooter. Yeah. I don't really ever want to be a shooter. I kind of like the fact that I'm a potato, because DayZ isn't just a shooter game. And it needs all sorts. It needs the people who are happy just farming and looting, and it needs the people who just want to kill everything, because it keeps you on your toes, doesn't it, Maddie?
Right. Yeah, no, and that's a great point. I think DayZ offers the biggest variety, at least that I've seen, of different play styles in one area.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Without the sort of comical arcadiness that Rust has. DayZ's more gritty and realistic.
Yeah.
I love watching. There's only one person I watch on Rust, and that's Stimpy, and Foxy as well. I do watch Foxy Post stuff when he does it, but it doesn't really interest me, because it's a bit more arcadey, a bit more cartoony. I like it to be a bit more gritty and realistic. But yeah, DayZ is the king for a reason. It's the ultimate zombie game. It just won't die.
Yeah,
But
and
we'll
like
watch
even to my
Yep, you were going to say even to my.
Well, with DayZ, like even 2 nights ago, I'm playing on Namalsk, which is a hard ass fucking server to play or map to play.
Love it.
And I'm still running into people that have been 3 days new to the game. So I think it's,
Yep.
Yeah. So
That's a beautiful thing to see, isn't it? Like, I saw a post in one of the Facebook groups, and it was a father who's playing with his daughter now. And he was saying, she's new to the game. He's got a bit more experience, and she met up with another survivor, and they traveled together. And she said, he's been really nice and all the rest of it. And obviously knew that she was going to meet up with someone. And then when they get together, the other guy kills the daughter and tried to kill the father. But the father, being experienced in DayZ, he knew what happened. And I think it might have been his son. And he said his son was absolutely devastated. Like, why did that guy do it? And the father said, as brutal as it is, kid just learned his first lesson about DayZ. Trust no one.
Yeah.
The father kind of knew what was going to happen. Maybe it's a bit mean, didn't warn his son. But sometimes a lesson learnt is much better than a lesson taught. The kid will never forget that. He's probably turned into another little KOS bastard now because of that one thing. But it's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
We also have. Now, did you guys see Wobo's video talk about the hidden wiring mesh of DayZ?
No, so I need to watch. I'm meant to watch this, and I will go and watch it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Because I don't know, I can't remember if I showed this last week, but I actually tweeted out that I asked Wobo and Dewan in light of that video having just come out. But this was some of the funkiest shit I've ever seen. I myself have never seen an infected do this.
Are we taking this?
No.
Oh yeah.
It just switches off.
Are you kidding, bro?
Yeah.
Like-
Stand in front of Tony
What?
being hit.
Oh, did he?
The zombie is
There's a lot of
confused.
strange stuff going on right now with these.
What? If he's standing in between me and the zombie doesn't hit him because he's in between us. But as soon as Blake steps away, the zombie hits me.
Geek, watch Lady's stream, please.
I cannot.
Ah,
Yeah, this is Lady Adventure, wasn't it?
okay, here we go.
And it didn't repath or anything. It just literally went into meltdown mode. And if you go to Wobo's video, I won't play the audio because I'll just have it going in the background. Where is Wobo? There we go. I was already watching it. Yeah, that's right, because I was watching
Looking
it
at
before
stuff
the
like
stream.
infected alert indicator balls, a grid system that
Well, you heard him just talk about it there before I muted it. But they've added this function into DayZ now. They said you can only do this in offline mode. You can't do it in multiplayer mode. But I asked them if they'd be able to like explore just to see what happened, because there's a part where he's interacting with infected. No, maybe it's a bit further down. I think it was more towards the end. Yep, there we go. And you can see the little ball on their heads changes color depending on what alert symbol they're at. It all makes complete sense to me. I wish Falcon was here because he's the one who knows more about modding and all that stuff than the rest of us. But see that line? That's them tracking onto you, locking onto you. And I'd love to have seen in that incident with the Lady Adventurer what was happening to that line. Was it like wigging out or because it just literally goes into neutral, like it just shuts down, like someone just deactivated the infected. But the second the other guy moved, bang, it was back on him.
Yeah, 'cause it interferes with the light. Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. It's
But
not fully resolved yet, is it?
this video is a must watch for anyone who plays DayZ. Probably one of the best videos he's done. I'll be talking more about this later as well because it's just we're not worthy of having Wobo in the community, are we? He's god tier. Falcon's back. Did you watch
Falcon's back.
Did you watch Wobo's wire mesh video?
I did.
So did you see the clip I just played before of Lady Adventurer?
No,
where-
I was AFK.
Okay.
What I missed.
Where the lines of the zombies are interfered with on the new zombie movement. So if you set off a zombie and they come and hit you, but a player stands in between the pair of you, the zombie switches off because the line's broken.
Yes.
The track line. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the code is identifying who the target is.
Yeah,
And it'll
yeah,
pick the best and
Are we taking
closest
this?
target
No.
based on the nav flash.
So watch the stream.
Okay.
Are you kidding, bro?
It's quite it's one of those things I think they're
Are
gonna
we
change
taking
and
this?
they're gonna
No.
sort that out. You're not gonna let that continue.
So having watched Wobo's video where
Are
it
you
showed the
kidding,
infected
bro?
locking on,
Like,
I
what?
asked that apparently they
The
can't
zombie
do
is
that
confused.
wire mesh stuff on a multiplayer server, but I just found it fascinating when I saw this. It was like, oh, that's interesting, the infected behaving like that, because it
Right.
just basically goes into shutdown mode.
I cannot.
So I'd love to have seen, the wire mesh stuff instantly back onto it. Back onto it the moment the other guy gets out of the way. And it was only that.
Yep.
Now I did
Whoa.
share that on Twitter, and I think it was both Dewan and Wobo did reply. So I said to him, with your new tools from Dewan, would love to see you recreate this and what happens with the infected pathing alert system. Wobo, I don't think it's possible to have nav mesh display on a multiplayer server. It was difficult
No,
enough to set
it's
up in
not.
offline mode. infected AI is said to be reworked in the future. And also on this, DeOne is, again, if you don't know who DeOne is, you really are a DayZ legend, because that guy is one of those who's involved in so much shit behind the scenes. You know stuff he's done, but he does so much. But seems like a bug with the targeting system. It's tough to recreate as it does involve probably weird nav mesh imperfections at that spot, including a possible unintended game feature with the infected retargeting system where the infected there should have attacked the front player or move around them. So
yeah, that would be my guess too, is that it's the intention is that it retargets on the player that's stepped in front, but it's got some kind of a bug where it's just putting it in it's not even like it's blocked. It's not even like all of a sudden there's a wall between the target and the zombie, because the zombie would try to go over it. It just throws it into a kind of a stalled state.
You had any weird ones like that, Maddie, with the infected?
Yeah, I've had the frozen zombie that sits there. I've had the well, and I guess more also just other players getting frozen and still decaying and standing upright and whatnot and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I kind of just chalk it up to DayZ being DayZ.
And I was just about to say that these kind of things, as annoying as they can be at times, it's kind of DayZ. You kind of expect it to happen. There's some funky shit that happens, and usually you just laugh it off if you don't die from it. If you die, you rage and uninstall.
One of the really interesting things I've seen in the last couple of days with this, right, is, for instance, those who play modded servers, especially those who play modded servers, right, if you're going for an airdrop or something like that, all it takes is one of your team to run around and annoy all of these Zeds, piss them off, and you can then just literally, one player, take the whole horde away from the area. So, I mean, obviously it's going to get fixed quite quickly, but at the moment it's a little bit of a cheat, isn't it? So, but anyway,
I call it training. It's an old COD Zombies. Tactically, you just get them all to follow you and line them all up. And I used to do it in a car for airdrops on the Pipsy servers and on Fubar Bundy's old server. Just drive around in a circle. Even with the helicopters, you'd fly the helicopter in and get them all to aggro on you and drag them off, and then the player would just run in and get all the good loot. And cars were fun, though.
The only difference is now is that the line cannot be broken at this current state. So whereas before, sometimes one or two, maybe three of those Zeds would come back because you're closer to them than the character running away. Now it doesn't happen, does it, at the moment? So you can stand right in front of them and loot a drop while they're aggroed on someone else. It's crazy. But anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one I had was it looks like they fixed the launcher.
Oh yeah, so you can see now.
Yeah. I just verified that this morning.
Yep. So Nathan Warwick, DH5 TV. Oh my God, the launcher is fixed. Valve software must have finally fixed the master list issue. So that is good, because that was causing a lot of grief in the community for server owners, and not even just server owners, but even just players trying to find their favorite servers. It was annoying.
Yeah,
it fucking was.
The other one. Does this mean they fixed the one where it keeps I your favorites?
I didn't.
I think that is probably a different issue. I seem to have that about every 3 or 4 months. I'll just
Mate, I've been having every couple of weeks lately, but then again, my computer's been doing some wacky shit lately. But just a quick update on that. My Stream Deck works now. I can press the button. It's disconnected the YouTube account, but it was due to Citrix Workspace app. We've got 2 offices in the house, and one of them's got aircon and one of them doesn't. The missus has only recently started working from home, so the young fella and I's computers are set up in the one with aircon. But being Australia and fucking hot, I let her come in and use my computer. She loves the 3 monitors. She's a spreadsheet queen, so she has spreadsheets all over the place. And but she installed Citrix Workspace app, and it bricked my Stream Deck. It fucked with all my Corsair gear as well. My IQ software wasn't working, so all of that's fixed. But yeah, so The official launcher, I like it because it's official. I don't need to worry about any malicious third-party software or anything like that. But it is funky and buggy as the losing the favorites list is annoying. But for some reason, it keeps the recently played. So if that ever happens to you, just go check your recently played list and you can find it. But with the actual listing of servers being easier to find now, I would type in my favorite DDU, DayZ Down Under, and I just couldn't fucking find it. And then I was like, oh yeah, what about recently? Thank God it's there. But frustrating. There's nothing worse than spending an hour trying to just find your server, is there, Maddie?
It's getting through queue and then getting a PBO era.
So.
Oh yeah, don't.
That Falcon,
There you go.
why does that happen? That annoys the shit out of me. Why isn't it just automatically updating all the mods when you try to join the server? Because like Maddie said, especially when you're joining a server and you haven't paid $35 to get priority access queue to MF Survival, and then you finally get through and bam, you're kicked because a mod wasn't updated.
Well, so there's two bad things going on there. One is the vanilla launcher does not consistently and effectively update mods without having to go in and force a repair. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's completely hit or miss. So to me, that's a big fail right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is not checking the client and server mod list and versions until you actually get to the countdown, which means if you're held in queue, it's not validating any of that until, okay, I finally made it. And then no. That's another giant fail. So if either one of those were fixed, it would be, tolerable. My preference would be just keeping the mod list updated.
Yeah, that's what I do now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just now go in and I just click on the server I want to join, get all the mods to load, and then just go in and just click individually repair on all of them.
Yeah.
But if you forget, it still doesn't make it. Yes, there's a workaround, but it's still fucking annoying when it happens to you because.
And you're mad at yourself because you should know better in that moment too.
Yes, yes. You just sit there, oh my fucking, and it's even worse when you're a streamer. And you've got your audience.
Oh, man.
It's like, oh, sorry guys. And then it turns out to be some mod that's 10 gigabytes in bloody data and might be a few minutes, especially if you're on good old Aussie internet. Just a quick thank you. Michael has super chatted $25 in honor of today's episode, Beauty and the Three Beasts. That's a good.
He's talking to you, Falcon.
That's a good title for today's episode, Beauty and the Three Beasts. I like that. That's funny. That's funny.
Well, cheers.
Okay. Sorry there, but I'll do Archie's segment for him since he's not here. I alluded to it before. MF Survival 2.0. Maddie, are you going to pay the $35 to get priority queue access to get stream sniped and have the admin showing all of your details live on stream?
So no, I'm not. But I do understand why some of the streamers are doing it. It's good. It's good vision. Like it's, I get it. Like you want to get seen. I, as a tiny little pleb, I'm gonna go buy me a case of beer. It's just not worth it for me. I also I feel like I'm not saying this to the right group. I hate Schnaris. So I'm just not going to do it.
Fair enough.
So for those who don't know what we're talking about, this is happening live on stream. So
why are you streaming people's locations? Why are you fucking brain dead, bud? Kind of weird to stream locations.
We also have to. I feel like.
I mean, if you knew anything about
we have
the
to remember
server
where
and
this group comes from. Coil. They come from GTA, essentially. And in GTA, it's very common to do this type of shit. I'm not saying that it's okay, and they're well aware that it's kind of fucking weird here, but you know what I'm saying? Playing devil's advocate here, at least.
Yep, and I love devil's advocate, and you're raising points that I
give a fuck.
Now, attitude aside from
this
Hutch
dude?
there.
Why are you fucking brain dead, bud?
Is that Hutch?
Yeah, Hutch. Yep.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
that was shared by Inclement Dab. Now, to be completely fair, Inclement Dab is associated with arguably the biggest community server at the moment that we know is monetized and people are making a living from it. So he has a potential ulterior motive for trying to malign Hutch's MF Survival server. If all the big name streamers start playing over there, then that's going to be less people on their servers. But I don't really think that's going to be an issue for them. But in all fairness, devil's advocate, like you said, Maddie, we need to make sure that people are aware of that. You know, Dab is, you know, the model with too much power, as he was called. Yep, Falcon gets a chuckle from that one. But yeah, me personally, I ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole. I don't like it. But as you said, that's kind of standard. Yeah, we've seen that before with there was the Spanish-speaking community did their event, and there were people doing similar sorts of things, you know, televising the story.
The
and
event?
14 Days, I think it was called, where they put up, and it was getting millions of people like watching across all the different channels. Some of those Spanish channels are insanely.
Those are what bumps DayZ's views up.
Yeah. And yeah, if you're down for that sort of stuff, go for it.
Right.
Pay $35 a month for priority queue access.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
I ain't paying
Well, you know the people that are going
to
to do that.
The thirsty boys and girls.
Yeah, the ones that want to stream snipe Deller and make him rage on screen. You know, the ones that want to hit up Shroud, like those people. Now, I don't really think anybody who has like a channel and they want their channel to go somewhere, I don't think they're paying that, to be honest. It'll die. It'll die. They'll kill it with this admin shit. Or, to be honest, there's already such a market for so many traders and base building servers out there. A lot of us that play hardcore servers are looking for hardcore servers. I love day one. I don't love day one queues. So, you know, if there's another hardcore server out there that can get up to full pop, I'm gonna fucking play that. But if it's a trader base building, I don't give a fuck. You know, so I think it'll die. I think it's a money grab for right now. I've heard all kinds of things like Hutch only comes out when Daddy Sum wants him to come play DayZ, shit like that. Which I mean, hey,
people
if anything,
throwing shade, mate. People throwing shade.
Oh yeah, which is ultimately it'll always be good for the fucking game DayZ, which can only be good for the streamers. What I feel bad for are the regular people who just play the game and have fun.
I do like what Attrition just said in chat there. That's more for Q than the game is right now on sale.
Yeah, it's
Good
true.
point.
Yep, DayZ sale right now. BI sale up to 75% off a variety of objects on their website. Go check it out, folks. But yeah, that's each to their own. Hey, like I said, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but if that's what you want to do, you do you, boo. I just don't like the idea. And I do see not ethical, but I do see issues with, if he shows off Daddy Sum, I like that, by the way. That was so cute. Or Shroud's location. You just know every motherfucker first thirsty boy and girl is beelining straight over there to have that quality interaction, or so they can upload that video. I killed Shroud. I killed Summit. I killed XQC. God knows who else.
I made Deller break his 75th keyboard. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, so it's doing a service. There'll be people who'll enjoy it. There's people, and there was that video that we talked about earlier, that insane firefight between Shroud and Sacriel versus Summit and his boys on the mollusk up near the tower on the top of the mountain there. And it was fantastic. There was a video that a person had where they linked to, they had both their footages from their perspectives. And that's insane when you get to see a firefight from two angles in DayZ. Because most of the time, 99% of interactions, you have no idea what happened. I would say 99.999%. If you're lucky, it was a creator who killed you and they uploaded their point of view and you go, oh, that was me. Okay, now I know what happened to me. But you're going to get to see a lot more of that on a server like that for those who just who don't play DayZ, but enjoy watching it. Like I watch Stimpy for Rust. I don't want to play Rust, but I enjoy watching Stimpy play Rust. And to be able to see the two perspectives and hear their views of it is fantastic. And a live server where you can jump between it, yeah, it's kind of annoying. Like even when you watch that video of Shroud versus Summit, there's people in both chats going, "You're going up against Shroud. You're going up against Summit," and it kind of ruins. There's nothing worse than meta in the moment, is there, Maddie?
I don't understand how people don't fucking get that still. It's the worst fucking thing. It ruins it.
But a whole server where that's kind of half of the course, go for it. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
They're just people trying to entertain. Prices aside, attitude aside. If that's your thing, go and join it. Go and have fun. As long as you're having fun, you do you, boo. Is what I always say. The last one, I know I've said the last one a couple of times. I did forget. I did forget that I had my question of the week. Very poorly worded tweet that I had to redo, and then people didn't quite understand where I was coming from. Should DayZ change to be more like a battle royale shooter game, or is the current system fair? Tweet thread below, for example, explanation of a kill trade. Now, I should have realized that people would not bother to read the next fucking tweet like I asked them to. But there was a video that I saw, this one here. Now, you can see that at no time does the other person actually stop their animation of getting off and aim the gun at them, but the player still died. And it's classic. I get confused being old and a boomer and all the rest of it. But it's classic, basically desync, lag, whatever you want to call it in a game. Now, someone explained to me in the comments that it's basically just down to that. And the other part of it is when you play a game like PUBG or Escape from Tarkov, I believe, it needs to have a clear winner. So all that information, Falcon, correct me if I'm wrong, but it all gets sent back to the server. The server processes it, tries to work out the real-time timings of who, the old Han Solo, who shot first, and gives a clear winner. DayZ doesn't. DayZ doesn't have that mechanic in it. So as long as both players on their screen, it showed them shooting, it enables both people to die, which ends up with the kill trade system. And that's where I was going with that question. And most people feel that way. What Maddie, I'll ask you before we go to actually Falcon, elaborate if you can, mate.
Yeah. So first of all, my opinion is I got hung up when you said fair. Life's not fair, and the old standby of that's DayZ. But I think you hit it on the head with it has to do with the communication between client and server and the animations. So in that video, from that perspective, it didn't catch up to the point where it showed the animation fully of the other guy shooting. But I'm sure from the other side, it looked like they got hit once, maybe on the ladder, hopped off, was able to get a shot off, and then died. You'll see that sometimes too with players where you just blast them and lay a whole mag into them, and then they're still kind of standing there looking confused, and then all of a sudden they just tip over, and there's like a half-second delay. So that's just lag between client and server. It's the way it is. Part of it is because I think DayZ originally wasn't really intended. They really didn't tighten down that the kill mechanics to focus on that. That was another piece of the game, but even though it came from Arma, that was a piece was a little loosey-goosey, and I think it's continued to be so.
The Darkwing saying in chat they got shot through the window. I don't think they did, because my understanding from a Wobo video is your body falls away from the direction that the shot came from. And he fell clearly from that person, not from to the side, if the through the window had been there. Maddie, what are your thoughts on it? Because I'm certain you've died in kill trades a lot.
Yeah, to me, it's like a good old gamer lag ping issue on one person's part. Just how it is. There's been times where I've shot somebody and it like kind of stuck in the animation of being shot at, and then they're like Falcon was just saying, then they're just all of a sudden flat on the ground, like the whole animation gets fucked. So I just look at that like, that sucks. That's a fucking rough death. I would have raged and thrown something. Yeah, but
Cobra.
Oh no, I'm exactly the same. The worst ones for me are when you think you're still firing, and then all of a sudden it skips like 4 seconds down the line, and either you're dead or they're dead. So you missed the whole thing. So
and even if you switch to a clear winner style, you're still going to have people upset because if I look at PUBG, I've had several times when I played that game where I saw on my screen my shot land, hit the person in the head, but I die and they don't. That still enraged me. But I understand the mechanics now of why, technically the other person shot first according to the server or to the client or whichever. That's why we have Red Falcon here, Maddie. I know things, but I don't know how to make it sound good. Red Falcon and Cobra, they're here to make me sound professional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going on to that, just going into that there for a second, right? So this is where the community needs to understand the difference between hackers, cheaters, and server performance, right? Because the real big problem, especially for newer type players, and there's a lot of veteran players who still say the same. I mean, if you're playing that and you're the one that's just traded and died when clearly you've shot him about 5 times, a lot of people straight away are going to call out, there's a cheater. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, what people don't actually quite understand, a lot of people don't understand, is exactly what you just talked about, the mechanics and the lag and the ping and everything else. So that's why a lot of people just need to really, if they're going to call cheater out on someone, they really need to understand that bit. And it's hard. It is difficult and horrible way to die. But, a lot of the times it's not cheaters. 90% of the time it is due to that.
Hey,
It was a good
Falcon,
point you brought that up.
can you break down the smart boy post in chat there by Zyson? Because I literally don't understand shit of what he wrote other than this can happen.
It's basically the same thing that I was saying in different words. So it's the mechanics of you fire a weapon and then what happens to the ammo and it's flying through the air and the server tracking that, as opposed to the different animations you see, and the fact that they prioritize the animations lower. So there is a chance that, he said it's not a guaranteed packet, but that's really where it is it's, the animations can get off. I think it was also mentioned that server performance and server FPS can play into it.
Yeah.
You get a server that's really lagged down. You'll notice it when you go to open the door and the player's hand will go out because that's on your side. And then you wait like 2 seconds and then the door opens.
Yeah.
So if you imagine that affecting a firefight, that's where there's some lag of some of the pieces and it doesn't make sense when you see it on the screen.
It's why I rarely play overseas servers nowadays, because there's some good quality Aussie servers. I just can't handle that lag of touch the door, waiting, waiting, go to the toilet, come back. Oh, door finally opened. But unbeknownst to me, I've done typical boomer mentality. I sit there on the fucking door, and the door's just going in.
Hell, I do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But no. Okay, so I think we covered that one. Thank you everyone for your input on that one. Falcon, modding. Have you got anything?
Modding. Have I got anything? Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about, and you had it in the notes, but I was going to just go ahead and grab it because I already had the thought of talking about Hunter Z and some of the work he's been doing. So the guy is a machine. He really cranks out a lot of good stuff. He's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Maddie, are you a cat or a dog person?
I have both.
Yep. So he had the dogs mod where you can have a dog that follows you around, and you can have it patrol, and there's little clothes for it and everything. And then he's got this one that he just put out, which is the cat mod, where it really the interesting part here for me on being kind of a tech head is the animations that he did for it.
Yes.
Because those are custom.
Let me go back so people can see this.
So the cat runs around. The cat will clean itself with its paw. It'll meow.
Will it attack you?
Can pick. No. It's you can pick them up and put them in your knapsack, which I'm not sure why one would do that with a cat, but. And then he actually just put out a video early this morning with a rabbit that he did. That's different from the vanilla hares that are in the game. So he's really been going crazy with the custom animations.
He's working on a special animal for me that I've requested from him. He'd already been doing stuff on it, but I won't say anything until he's ready to release it. But it's going to mix the fucking game up. Oh my fucking God. It is going to be brilliant. Absolutely. Yeah. Have you seen those pictures of the big reds with how ripped their fucking chests are when they're doing their, oh my God. People think kangaroos are cute and fucking fluffy and all the rest of it. Yeah, you don't fuck with kangaroos, man. But
Nope.
I said to him, because he sent me some this footage as well in a Discord message. I said to him, like, we've talked about DayZ dogs before, Cobra. I can't do DayZ dog mod. I tried it. I love it, but I get fucking heartbroken when my dog dies or I lose my dog.
I can't do it either.
Now,
for that exact fucking reason.
Cats is a whole fucking different level. Crazy cat women, all the rest of it. You know,
crazy cat men.
You get
that's me, crazy cat.
You get
man.
someone like come up and fucking kill your cat and skin it in front of you. You're gonna have people losing their shit.
I will lose my shit.
That is a risky fucking mod for that reason. You're gonna have some traumatized. Have you guys all seen the footage of that girl watching the rabbit get shot? That's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, from Last of.
Oh yeah. It is. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
That's what everybody pretty much did.
Yeah. While he's trying to find that, just clarify this for me. So, can you set the cats on other players like you can the dogs?
No, right now they're not controllable animals. They're more like background wildlife. But I know he said that he's planning on doing more with that. Because
I think I saw a tweet from, was it Scale Speeder earlier? Was it him or I think it was him? He said too many cats. He looked around and there was about 20 cats in this little house he was in. But I did see that earlier on. But interesting one. I mean, just for decoration, I don't really see the. Well, I suppose some people may like it. I mean, but if they're going to actually do something, then fair enough. You know. Yeah. But they've got to do something, I think. Yeah.
So,
like I said, for me, it was just kind of more of a demonstration is what could be customized. That's terrible.
Pretty much everything. What have you got going on there, Boydie?
It's funny. That's the clip I'm talking about. The best version I've seen of that is the noise she makes at the end is someone standing in front of their car and pressing their car unlock button.
So the rabbit's coming out. Bang.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Cute little thing she's saying. Wait for it. Oh, love it. There you go.
So, can you imagine someone, sitting there with crazy cat like Joedo loves her cats. Can you imagine if someone, and I'm talking about the malicious side of people. There are some fucked up people like that Maddie's been talking about who want her to sit and queef and fart on fucking hoodies. But I'm not going to say, we know it's going to happen. There's going to be motherfuckers out there who are going to, if Joedo's running around and playing with an in-game cat, there's going to be sick fucks out there who it's just pixels, but it's going to cause emotional fucking trauma to people. I'm dead set serious. That is a risky mod. I love it. And the tech behind it is brilliant, Falcon, but it's risky, man. It's risky. You don't fuck with cats. There's a whole documentary online about what happened to a dude who fucked with cats. It's on Netflix, I believe. good watch. Just shows the special powers of people who are neurodivergent and the lengths they will go to track people down. You don't fuck with cats. And to create a mod in a game where you could do anything, next thing you're going to know, there's going to be there's going to be a cat skinning bandit group going around with cat bloody hoodies and stuff like that. And oh my god, there's going to be a lot of outrage. Maddie, what do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what, and like you guys kind of hit on, I can't do the dog mod. I tried to play it, I named him, my friend killed it, and I was like done. I was like, we're done. I don't want to play with you anymore. I'm uninstalling. Like it put me in a crisis.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It is genuinely, and I even there's a video on that I shared a while back. A guy on my server, he tried to set me up with a landmine and ended up getting himself. And he woke up and the first thing he was asking is, "Where's my dog? Where's my dog?" They're pixels, but you get attached to these silly little pixels. And because he's making them so realistic, Cobra, it adds to the connection you form.
Oh, you're not going to like me then. So I did a video a few months ago.
Oh God.
And,
Here we go.
I had no choice. I mean, I was raiding a base, right, as a group of about 8 to 10 players, and they were logging in as I was raiding it, right? The next thing I hear is these bloody dogs barking, running around upstairs. So they've got player with a dog times 6 or 7, right? And I'm sitting there going, if he opens that door, I'm in deep shit. So, and I'm mid-raid it. So obviously I've lit the players up I could. So I've had to shoot the dogs, And then as I go upstairs, there's like 3 of them with 3 dogs. So I just grenaded the old lot, you know what I mean? But yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah.
In that situation, but I just wouldn't want to be in that situation. So no, I don't want to get a pet dog again in game, and I definitely ain't going to get a pet cat because there's just some. It's the internet. There's some sick motherfuckers out there. No.
What does that say about us? That just being in game and blasting other players and chuckling because look at that, I got a 300-meter headshot on him. That's okay, but killing dogs and cats, that's a bridge too far. I just can't do it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange situation, isn't it?
Dogs are the best people. Dogs love you unconditionally. Like I said, we had my birthday for my dog last night. We put little hats on them. I know this is probably not healthy, but I made them ice cream cake and I put whipped cream all around it and I sprinkled bacon and little carrot buttons on it. And they all sat there licking it and eating it and going back to it. I had... One of my dogs loves cordial. I don't know why, but every time I go outside with a bottle of cordial, he'll come up and he'll steal the bottle. So I made 4 bottles. It's sugar-free cordial before you start panicking. And I put them down and he came and he grabbed each one and we went off of it and he was so proud. I love my dogs. I will fucking die for my dogs. The life's greatest tragedy is that the pets we love the most get to live such short lives compared to us. It breaks my heart, but I can't do without. Golden retrievers are my thing. I love golden retrievers. They're just, Google golden retriever kills person. You can't find fucking anything. They're just the nicest fucking dogs ever. Beautiful dogs. And I'm sorry, Falcon, but I have more empathy for a dog than I do for most people.
Well, and I'm with you. I tend to lean more towards cats, but I think as a social commentary, I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. People are responsible for themselves. Animals, they rely on us.
Yeah.
But no, Hunter is insane, mate. How is he doing all these different animations? I thought that's only with players though that we're limited to how many extra animations.
So let's get into that. That was another part of this I wanted to talk about. So zombie creature animations, it's pretty much an open field. It's a little bit tricky to do. Take some learning to. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I know Hunter's really dug into it. But player animations, the limitation is the way that DayZ's built. Only one mod on a server can alter survivor animations. It's just the way that it's built, which is why we see a lot of things where, like in my helicopters, the pilot is just sitting there with his hands on his knees because there is no animation for flying the helicopter in vanilla. And if everybody started doing their own, they'd start stepping on each other, and it actually breaks the game. So to that end, Mario was long touting the animation framework, which was going to be a central clearinghouse that we could all build animations and have them go through the framework, and that it would make everything compatible. That has dragged on, and the last I heard, it's on the shelf right now. And so Hunter Z came up with the idea of, well, how about if I just create a central animation mod, and I'll just take anybody that wants to do an animation or have me do it, or he's actually done some for me, and he'll put them in there, and it's just one mod. And so he actually did one for helicopters that I'm starting to integrate. He did one for Pink Geek PDX and the snowmobile that she did. And I was able to adapt that for the jet skis that I just put out. And so it actually looks like if you're running that mod, my mod knows that it's there, and we'll put the player in with the hands on the handlebars and sitting more forward like they're actually riding the jet ski.
DayZ Expansion saying in chat that they do that as well.
They do, and there's some potential conflicts there, as usual. So at some point, we'll all be able to converge. We'll have one framework that we can use so that everybody can run everybody's mods and there won't be any conflicts.
I just want to be able to sit down in the chair, Maddie.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to look at, those park benches you find along the trails and things like that. Just for no real reason other than a bit of immersion. To be able to walk up to one of those benches, just sit down and have a chat with another player who you might bump into, or I want to be able to interact more. Like, one of the things that annoys me is you can't use objects in the game to stabilize your weapon. I know I'm not a huge PvPer, but you can't interact. Like, so many other games have got it where you can go up to something and you can lean onto it and it stabilizes your weapon, reduces the sway. You can't do that in DayZ, and it's frustrating to me. It took them forever for us to just be able to vault fences. Remember, you used to have to run around fucking fences, even the low ones. Unless you could jump over it, you couldn't vault over it.
I just want to be able to slap people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When they're acting silly.
So many custom animations. We've got so much cool stuff in the way of mods and stuff like that, and we're just having to recycle the same tired old animations, and it's great to see some stuff starting to make its way in. Mario, please unshelve it. We need it. We need it.
Yeah.
A uniform system that everyone can use, and we can have a lot more cool custom stuff. Guitar animations. There's guitars in mods and all the rest of it, which is kind of cool, just to sit around a campfire and those non-PvP moments until some prick comes up and puts a grenade in the campfire or whatever. And but yeah. First person proper wall peek would be nice. It would be, Josie. It would be. That's another one. You can lean, but to be able to, bind to the wall, a bit like Red Dead system does it really well, would be fantastic. But those are features that I don't even know, honestly, if we'll ever get in DayZ.
You can't even lean while running now anymore. So
yeah, but I don't mind that one. That was absolutely ridiculous. No, it was fun, but
it was a get good, gentlemen. As a PvPer who runs around, I need that lean.
Q&A wiggle.
I do. I wiggle.
You may not have seen it, but
you hitting headshots. Anyway,
we were bitching about that on a stream probably over a year ago, and someone in chat actually went and made a mod that disabled Q&A spam during the show. It was one of my fucking favorite moments of all time on the DayZ podcast.
Wow.
And yeah, it was it didn't take them long at all from memory. The show is usually 2 to 3 hours, and within that time they disabled Q&A spam, and a lot of servers implemented it straight away. But yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was brilliant. I wish I could remember who did that. The name's on the tip of my tongue, but yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so we are now on to Mr. Cobra, Spotlight of the Week for content creators.
Okay, so this week we're going back to a well-known name, Barbarius. He has just put out a video, the raid of a lifetime. Great little thumbnail. I've whacked it up in the chat. Boyd, have you shared that?
I'm on his channel now.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a nice thumbnail.
Yeah, they've done really well there. I've noticed he's changed a little bit of his editing style over the little while that I've been checking him out for a good year or so now, in and out. And I really like the way he's done his end credits, and there's different formats now. Obviously, you can do it in Photoshop and After Effects and everything else these days. But so this, first of all, the thumbnail was very nice. I do like that. Very catching. What's he got on that at the moment? He's got 46k views on it. It's not too bad. Not as well performing as some of his other videos, but he's doing a very, very nice job. Now, the good thing about the video for me is his editing, like I say, has changed a bit, and I think he's evolved, like we all us content creators are doing. He's just freshened up with the way he does his intros, the way he blends scenes together. I think he's done a really, really good job on this one. The story itself is actually a very good, very decent story. In terms of the raid, I won't spoil it all, but if anyone wants to go and watch that, check it out on the links below. But let's just say he gets into, after a massive successful raid on a huge base. This place is so big. This takes me back 3 or 4 years where you can't walk inside the base. There's so much shite in there. And I'm talking about top grade gear like C4 and everything else. So it's well worth a watch. I had a little look at it the other day. Very good video to have a little look at.
Do you get to watch much content, Maddie?
I try not to really watch too much DayZ content.
It's hard. How do you fit the time in, Cobra? Because I don't get to watch anywhere near as much as I used to.
Well, let me ask you this, Maddie. Are you more of a streamer or more of an actual putting out video type kind of girl?
I'm more of a streamer. I would love to put out videos. It's just I have full respect for those that are able to stream and edit videos and put them out. It's just
it's so difficult because unless you're running two computers, I mean, one doesn't have to be that high spec, but you can't really get a good FPS, great capture rate with recording and streaming at the same time.
Right.
So I mean, with me, I stream twice a week, but I tend to my videos take up a week to 2 weeks of content, and it takes me like 6. It all depends how much footage I've got. Right now, I've got a terabyte of data on my latest community project, and a video will be out in the next week and a half. But it's going to take me 3 or 4 days to edit that to a good standard. So it's something that I do in between, Boydie, to ask you questions. So answer your question, one for the show, but also to see. It's so important if you're going to evolve as a content creator doing videos. You have to see and stay on top of your game. You have to see what new things people are doing, every week, every month. And it is tiring, and you do need a lot of time. But there you go.
Stay up with the current metas and
everything. I mean, even tags and thumbnail names or titles are not as important as they used to be, but the actual visual thumbnail is still just as important. So that's got to look the bollocks, and if you get that right, and the storyline's pretty good, then you'll get away with that. There's a lot of small YouTubers that are coming up right now. That about 6 months ago they were running with 800 to maybe 1.5 thousand subs, and they've because they've done a good job in editing and the thumbnails are good. They're on about 8,000-9,000 now, which is great to see.
Yeah.
So there you go. Take your time editing. Make sure you do a good job there. Learn editing. That's what it's about, really.
It is important to diversify, folks. There's so much instability in the streaming space, in the YouTube space. You've got to have yourself across as many platforms as you can manage. A lot of people talk about Kick at the moment. I ain't touching that shit with a 10-foot pole. And the only reason why, there's 2 main reasons. One, you've got some fucking loose cannons on that platform. Streaming porn, streaming fucking the Super Bowl. And
I didn't even spin it, mate.
I don't like the porn is bad, but from a pure like a bigger picture point of view, streaming the fucking Super Bowl, are you asking to get fucking sued into the fucking 5th fucking dimension? That is just How dumb are some of these creators to do something like that? It's the same as these idiots who play copyrighted music. I'm using some little glitch. Motherfucker, you don't think that the fucking recording industry is working out ways to rain hellfire and fury on your fucking candy ass the second they can? Don't do it. It's not worth it, folks.
Play copyrighted music on my stream.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Don't. Seriously?
So I've been doing it for 2 years now. It just mutes my VOD, and then there's another way
You're going to
can
get
just
caught.
have.
You're going to get caught. I can tell you. They're working on ways now. Plus the damage that it does, the bigger picture to the platform. Twitch is in a lot of fucking trouble if they do
It's
not
the same
do
with
something.
AI art. It's
Yeah.
exactly the same with the AI art now.
They're catching up. You're really pushing it with doing that, Maddie. I cannot stress that enough. Continue to do it if you want, but there's plenty of other free options out there. It is playing with fire. The recording, the music industry is a ruthless fucking industry. Like we see it with our podcasts. I'll get the entire 3 hours demonetized. I played the TikTok Women of DayZ that you were in last week. Entire episode got demonetized because of 1 minute of fucking whatever that song was. I can't remember the title off the top of my head. That was a copyrighted song. That's how serious YouTube takes it. Twitch is way behind the eight ball.
It is
Twitch will throw you under the bus.
Why is it allowed on TikTok then?
China. It is seriously. It is just a case of most of those people aren't monetized on TikTok either. There's not a lot of people making money over on TikTok.
No, there's
that sort of
hardly any
stuff.
money at all.
YouTube is the standard you need to be trying to adhere to, and if it is copyrighted there, you're really playing with fire because it's already started. I know Marks hates the guy, but Devin Nash has done a really good video. I'll send it to you after the show, which talks about the issue with copyrighted music. The recording artist industry, whatever they're called, REIA or something like that, they're watching and they are just collecting data. All this stuff that, it's not on VODs and all the rest of it. It might not be, but they've got other ways of keeping track of it. You've only got to look back to what happened with Metallica and LimeWire back in the day. They know what people are doing, and they will be coming for asses very, very soon. And there's going to be a lot of money, and it is something that could cripple Twitch. It's a case of we're talking billions of dollars in lawsuits, hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits from copyright music because they take that shit seriously. YouTube's got a thing now where you can use their music from their library, but you've got to pay a percentage of revenue,
right? Which
is kind of fair. At the end of the day, it is someone else's copyrighted material. It'd be the same as if someone was restreaming your stream, but the VOD didn't prove it. That's not cool either. So it's. Yeah, Napster, good old days. Trying to work out what was a virus and what wasn't. But seriously, Maddie, I know it's fun. And some of that music is, I remember Paul, the Running Man, used to start his streams off with about 15 to 20 minutes of copyrighted music back in the day. Even he stopped doing it. If you're serious about this being a job that you want to earn revenue from, you've got to start, as much as it sucks, as much as, I firmly believe that there should be a way that even if someone works out an app where the content creator gets a percentage of the bits and Twitch gets a percentage, because it's a capitalist world, folks. They need money to keep the servers running and all the rest of it. But people can pay for a song to be played. And the relevant artist gets a share of the profit as well. I think that's a viable option. I'm surprised no one's worked something out there. But to just do it yourself and, doing the Super Bowl, man, they take the Super Bowl serious, don't they, Red?
Oh, absolutely.
Did anything even come of that, though?
Let me give an example. Yeah, it does. And let me give an example, right? So just to give you a quick difference between Twitch and YouTube, right? So on Twitch, as you've just said, is how it is, right? YouTube, within 5 minutes of me uploading the video, I will get, before I've even uploaded it, I will get a copyright report, and it will tell me straight away on the algorithm. And because I pay for licensed music through MusicBed, I pay something like 25 a month on that, £25 a month. I have got such an array of music I can use now. But had I not paid for that, nothing of mine gets monetized now.
Yep.
If I don't, and within 60 minutes, within 1 hour, YouTube has already worked out that it can now remonetize the video, and that's the difference between YouTube and Twitch. Now, the other thing with Twitch is, because I get where you're coming from, because I had some background music playing a little while ago when I first started on Twitch, and someone said to me, you might want to remove that old bloody thing now. And it's only now that I'm starting to realize myself recently that the companies, the legal firms are now starting to take on backlogs from 5 years ago of when people were streaming stuff. So I have to echo that. There will be a day when people will go, right, if they're doing it right now, this is Twitch users, including myself. If you get caught on Twitch, there will be something in place within the next few years that will automatically ban that whole situation and the account, and you will be taken to the cleaners. So just anyone on Twitch right now, my advice would be get ahead of the game. I know loads of people do it, but get ahead of the game while you can, because they will backdate stuff.
And all those VODs are there, and there'll be people. There's seriously, in today's day and age, there's people out there who just be recording stuff, live as it's happening, so that they can, report it to someone and claim a bounty on yet another streamer. Or, they're probably not going to go after you, Maddie, because you're, a relatively small audience. But just look to see what the big guys are doing. The smart ones are all moving away from it. Even doing TV shows is risky. I think Ethan Klein just got sued for he restreamed a fight event or something. H3H3.
Well, he gets sued a lot in general.
Yeah.
So I think anyone's looking to hurt him.
Yep. But that's it, and that's what you've got to consider is if you do something that is breaking terms of service, if there's someone out there who doesn't like you, they're going to report your ass. And the next thing you know, you're going to get a cease and desist come through, a potential lawsuit, and it's if you're running your online profile as a business to make money of and be profitable in the future, there's some unfortunate shitty things that you've got to start doing and being more brand conscious. Sorry, Falcon, you go.
I was going to say this is really nothing new. It's just new because we have these new mechanisms to broadcast.
Yeah.
But it's know what you're broadcasting and make sure you have the rights to broadcast it. I mean, it's no different than somebody deciding they read a good book, they really like it, they decide they're going to make a movie out of it, and they never get the rights to the original book. It's like you just can't do that stuff. So if you're going to use music, get the royalty-free stuff, get stuff you pay for. There's a number of avenues for that. Buy it outright from a small artist that's trying to make a few bucks. Play it yourself if you're a musician, but make sure you have the rights to it. You just can't. And like Cobra was saying, the day is going to come around. The technology is catching up, and there's now and there's money there, and which means the original artists or the companies that own the IP, they're coming after it because they want their bucks. And you can't blame them. They have the rights.
It's like the illegal pirating of videos now. It's exactly the same. Like the issue with Netflix and Amazon, all the rest of that now. You can do those type of sites. They've had stuff taken down. They've had lawsuits, all kinds of stuff because they didn't actually have the exact copyright that they were supposed to have, and they've immediately taken them down. They've cost millions. It's crazy, man. Crazy stuff.
And back to the thing with Kick. The other reason is the people behind it are a gambling platform, and a dodgy gambling platform at that. One of those ones where you just was it a train wreck? A guy with a massive gambling problem. They basically he got gambling not outright banned, but majorly restricted on Twitch. Didn't like that, so they created their own platform. So a platform funded by gambling. You know, if you want to gamble, I flutter every now and then myself. I'm not a teetotaler, but when you're streaming it to kids, you know, it's scary. Like Michael's saying in chat there as well, I guarantee you it will not be long at all before there's AI monitoring all live streams for such things as music or language.
Absolutely.
There's AI already monitoring streams as it is. You know, Devin Nash talks about, I think it's called Commander Root, is a viewer in every stream out there. Like if you check your, once you hit 10 or so viewers, there's this bot that joins your channel and just watches you. And I don't even know really what it's doing. It's just getting analytics and data, feeding it back, and it's getting crunched by people who crunch numbers about Twitch and all the rest of it. So be careful, Maddie. If you've really got to evaluate, is it worth it? Because there's plenty of other ways you can play music. It's not worth it, girlfriend.
If I get sued, I'll come on your show and I'll talk to you guys first.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Go fund me. I'm being picked on by the evil recording artists. They didn't do themselves any favor though. Metallica back with the old LimeWire thing. They still get memed on very, very hard. You're shaking your head, Red. Do you remember that?
I do. I have my own opinions on that, which is letter of law. They were correct. I think with big recording artists like that, where their money is made is in live performances, and that was the way it used to be. The record sales they didn't get a lot of ducats for record sales, but they did from live performances. So to me, that's all. If people are copying your music and playing it for themselves for free, that's a loss leader, because now you've got more fans that are going to come to your shows. But that's just my opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are almost done for this week. Was there anything else I have missed in just checking the agenda? No.
I think that's it.
Individual spotlights, ladies first, once again. Maddie, what would you like to shout out in the DayZ community, or any community at all? What's something that you're passionate about, girlfriend?
So firstly, I would like to shout out the Odyssey servers. They are run by, I am the brand manager, so I feel like I should help. I also have helped with some of the modding on the servers as well.
Are you getting into modding, are you?
I used to do the modding on the Lax servers whenever he had those, and I
You didn't even mention that at the beginning. What sort of modding have you done? Look at Red Falcon. He's 100% interested now.
No, nothing compared to him. It's all self-taught, and over the last 2 years of just learning. The goal would be, as I learn, to maybe down the line create my own type of maybe map or something of that sort. Kind of like Ray's Boom Boom Room server.
Yep.
I don't know, something fun like that. But the Odyssey servers, though, I really want to point out, there's the Discord. They had Barrington. Now we have Vela. They have a Namalsk server. It's the same dude that opened the Lax servers, Daps. He's the G. He's the dude who pays for it all. So I've got to shout him out. They're good servers. They are not popping. So if you're ever looking for something to learn, it's a perfect server to learn Namalsk. It's as hardcore can get. It's close to day one. There are some additions on different modded things that are coming in there, like different armor and whatnot. But yeah, I gotta shout them out, and I can post the link for the Discord.
Please do.
Yeah, and thank you for letting me do that. And then of course my own channel, but you guys have let me on to the show, so thank you. But one last thing, that's something I'm relatively passionate about or care about, and I'd like to just point out, since I have the attention, is men's mental health. Often we do talk about mental health, and we may just focus on women. So as a woman, I would like to say, men, please put yourself first sometimes. I know it's hard. You're the head of the household in a lot of households. That's not sexist of me to say. That's just how it is sometimes. Okay? But you may feel like you have nobody to talk to. You may feel like nobody cares because you're a guy. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to feel your things, but you are. And it can get better. And you are cared about. All these other fucking things, whatever. Go talk to somebody, motherfuckers.
So wait. Can we go back here? I'm not an evil creature because I'm male and mostly white. Is that what you're trying to tell me here?
Yes. Shockingly, yes. Yes.
But that's not what I've been told lately. I'm evil because I'm mostly white and I'm a colonial conqueror and racist and
Cobra, tackle him.
Right,
Anyway.
he's doing his own. Anyway, sorry. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, Bodhi, this isn't about you, you damn it. It's not Bodhi's mental health. It's men's mental health. Anyway, but yes, no, seriously, it is an epidemic amongst everywhere. Men take their lives, if not more than women do, and it's a very sad thing. So if you're feeling some type of way, people do care about you. You are allowed to feel the way you feel. Your feelings are valid. You can get help. There are help resources out there. I will always, No Shave November comes around, you'll see me donning a fake mustache occasionally because I'm a fucking weirdo. But it is something to I just want to put out there as a woman. I'm telling you, men, you guys are allowed to feel down. It's okay. It's okay to ask for help. You're not alone.
Keep an eye on people on their socials, folks. Like I send out a lot of messages. I don't talk about it a lot because it's just something I do, but I send out a lot of messages. You see someone, there's a guy I'm keeping my eye on at the moment. I'm not going to say who it is, but I've noticed some tweets of his that are a bit erratic, and I'm going to send him a message and just say, hey, dude, what's going on? Because especially with men, they don't like to talk about it. There's that old school mentality of, bottle it up, push that shit deep inside. And what happens when you keep them pushing shit deep down inside? It fucking explodes. And then you have a major episode. I've been guilty of having those myself. So if you just because we've half the names in chat, I've never seen your face. But that doesn't mean I don't love you for, the fact that you're human beings and you're here. And feel free to fucking just send a message, or if you see someone who you're a bit worried about, haven't heard from in a while, send them a message, say, hey, dude, just checking in, Yeah. You never know what you're going to get. You might be able to help someone. You might stop someone from F11ing, which is, the saddest fucking thing. And we see it all too often. So that's really cool that you brought that one up, Maddie. Much more, even more respect for you. You've won a lot of hearts and minds in this chat so far. And you just you're getting more. Yeah, that's it. Remember, $2,000 for the hoodie special, folks. Limited.
Yeah, 2,000 starting at 2K.
Limited time podcast exclusive special. Oh. Falcon, what do you got for us, buddy?
Okay. Well, since I kind of talked about maps and new maps and stuff, I've seen. There seems like the last 6 months there's been a lot of interest in smaller island type maps, and there's been a number of map makers that have come out and, like I said, they released here's my new map. It's a work in progress and it's about 20% done. And I always get disappointed by those and like, okay, I'll check back in a year. I happened to see one that I had never seen before, and it might be just I'm late to the party, but it's called Vela, Vela.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll put the link in the chat. It's a work in progress, but it was initially released about a year ago. I just went through the whole map, and honestly, other than creating a few kind of POIs and some, it does have a nice underground area, but I think it's a really nice little island map. A lot of fun, and certainly with my boats, I think that really makes island maps all the more fun. But I wanted to shout that out, yeah.
And I'll add to the Vela map, Odyssey has one out right now. So
awesome.
If you're looking for a server to play on with, little modding to it, or little mods added to it, there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely a fun map.
Cobra.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to my man Matty Ice, who is the developer for the map Bitterroot. He reached out to me. He's on the show in a couple of weeks' time, but he's going to be shortly. We need to reschedule that, Boydie, by the way. He couldn't make the date I set. So he messaged me the other day, and there is a new update on the Bitterroot, which will be back out, ready for people to test. The map at the time of release last time on the test schedule was only 20% finished. Right now, I think he's got it up to like 50-60%.
Wow.
So, or something similar to that. So, I'd had a little chat with him. He's going to give us the dates. I think it's in the next couple of weeks. And once that happens, I'm going to get on there. We'll probably do a live on there. see what's changed, what's new. So for me, that's going to be my spotlight of the week.
Awesome. I got a few. Eska 2.0 is now Eska 2.1. Make sure you follow Everyone Knows Dave. It's great to see Eska getting the love. Like Maddie said, Eska changed the game back in the day. You know, probably the biggest map since the Molsk for mixing things up and showing that we could go crazy. Yeah, you get to get some performance issues. I'm seeing that with Deer Isle, but I don't care because it's just so fucking beautiful. Update on Deer Isle. I'm still playing it. I'm still discovering places. It is fucking massive. If you've avoided it, now's the time to go try that out. But the big one that I wanted to shout out was Wobo and Dewan. I talked about it earlier. Dewan, guys, absolutely amazing. Yeah, he's doing this stuff, helping out Wobo, who, like I said, we don't deserve Wobo. He's a gift to the community. He delves into the stuff. I know some people don't like to know it. Great, don't watch it. But for those who do like to know it, and he's redefined the game in some aspects, hasn't he, Falcon? The whole thing with the hitbox bug, and the devs went and fixed it as best as they could. It's still a bit clunky, as they show in the last video, but for me, one of the greatest things I see is when people are working together to do things like that. Just helping each other out. The one I've never seen him post about it. The only reason we know about it is Wobo mentions it. He made that mod which showed the bullet tracking for Wobo, so that Wobo could do his testing better and show the flight paths of bullets, and that sort of stuff, you can't thank these people enough. Dewan also is the one of the people behind the Vanilla Plus Deathmatch servers. So if you want to support him, go check out. I'll try to remember to put links and stuff in there. But he's also an Aussie. I love the guy so much. He's a young. He's just one of those young, insanely fucking annoyingly talented people. That I'm so glad that I know and get to witness the magic that they're able to create. He's absolutely insane. Another Jacob Mango, Dab, these young guys who are just doing shit that I just look at and go, how do you get so fucking good? Yeah, and we're blessed to have people like that in this community. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. Maddie, you've been a fantastic guest. Sorry for going hard on the idiots with copyright music. I didn't realize you did that. Yeah. When you said that, it was like, fuck.
No,
Wow.
we're allowed to have different. How would I learn?
Yeah.
If we don't have these conversations.
Yeah, and like you, I do go hard on topics at times, and sometimes forget that. Maybe I love you.
You're good. I had a great time today, so thank you guys.
I'm
for
glad
having
you
me.
did, mate, because like you said earlier, this is the whole format of the show. We pick a few topics, we talk, we go off on tangents, and it's basically just a Discord, hang out and chat with friends. And we televise it so that people get to hear differing opposing opinions. One of the strengths of the show wasn't what a guest recently messaged me and said, they loved the fact that we encourage opposing opinions because I have my views, Cobra has his views, Falcon has his views, and we all respect each other for it. Might disagree, and they're all wrong because I'm always right. That's the beauty of the show. We know that everyone has a different way to play DayZ. Everyone wants something different from DayZ. And luckily, we have a game that allows us to all to have what we want. If you don't like it, you can always make your own server and start learning modding like you are. Keep that up. And if you ever need any advice, I'm certain you've probably got some good contacts, but there's a lot of modders in the DayZ Discord, and pretty much to a T, every single one of them is supportive and will, if they've got the time, will try and help you with learning new skills that you want to learn to be able to do your own stuff. Mapping, modding, all the rest of that. It's a great community Discord. I highly encourage people to join discord.gg/878survivor.fm. The more people, the merrier. You going live this afternoon after this, Maddie? Hello? Nope.
I can hear you.
No, okay. We've lost Maddie.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll probably come back. But we'll share a link to her channel,
I'm
folks.
back. I'm sorry.
Are you
no
going
worries.
live? Are you going live soon at all?
Yes, I will be going live soon. Yes.
Excellent. So for those who want to go and check out the real deal, the OG of being real,
No.
where can they find you? What's your Twitch channel? Twitch.tv /
Maddgree. Yeah. Maddgree. Maddgree.
no underscores, no weird little things at the end there. There
Nope.
we go. Go check her out, folks. I'm certain after what we've seen today, you're going to have a blast watching her. I'll be definitely checking it out as well later on today. So all the best, mate. Thank you so much. Next week's guest, who have we got lined up? Let me scroll down. Cairo. That's going to be a good one. He's been making some waves. And he's definitely not backwards in being forward about his opinions either, which is probably one of the reasons why we're going to love having him on the show. He's got a lot of strong opinions. You see him talking all the time. So I'm really looking forward to it. Maddie, once again, thank you so much. You're a breath of fresh air in a boomer-filled panel. Great to have you on, mate.
Thank you again. It was fun.
All the best.
welcome.
And we will
Take
see
care.
you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Ciao for now.
Cheers, everybody.
If you keep believing, like rain falling